As of right now, there are multiple programs within the media that are acting very unhinged after everything that happened in the past couple of days. We all know that ABC is by far one of the worst programs out there that has various shows like The View, Good Morning America, Jimmy Kimmel Live, and among others out there that are still contributing to their overall agenda, to their overall ideology toward the general public, and they just can't seem to come with the terms or with the facts that the majority of the public do not want to hear any of their nonsense anymore. It's all over at this point. They really can't lie their way through things anymore, and that's exactly what's bothering them in 2025. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, one of which has a lot to do with The View via ABC/Disney, starring those like Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, the worst of them all as far as I see things, and we have a lot to talk about her today, by the way, because she had a lot of things to say about President Donald Trump after his inauguration took place on the 20th. It seems like more and more, a lot of these personalities within the media, like herself, Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, and among others, they really are doubling down on their lies, and it looks like that they are not learning from their mistakes at all. Now, moving onwards here, one thing about Sunny Hostin is that we know that she seemingly has some kind of a vendetta going on at this point when it comes to her overall view within politics toward Donald Trump. We all know that she gets very personal with that. However, this is where things really get all worse. You know, far beyond that I think people would have never expected to see. But what's interesting here is that with many programs within the woke media now beginning to either back off or double down on their agenda, one major development now involves Sunny Hostin of The View via ABC/Disney and what she recently had to say with yet another rant now after President Trump's inauguration took place. Hostin delivered the following. Unfortunately, we are now living in the reality that Donald Trump is the 47th President of the United States, who, must I add, signed a series of nonsense executive orders that just proves what I've been warning about for years and what this man will use his power and act like a king in whatever way that he can to abuse his power. Some of those executive orders were absolutely terrible, and it's going to disfigure America for the years to come. It just saddens me that this is our reality now, that we have a presidency that is in the process of abolishing diversity, equity, and inclusion. For those of you that do not know, that's what the DEI thing stands for. She continues something that many in this industry value and cherish. If Kamala Harris won, she would have never had the audacity to make not only that many executive orders, and the number of them, but she definitely would not have signed the ones that Trump issued that will warp America as we know it into a gigantic echo chamber of those that are loyal to him. It's terrible that this is what the American people voted for. Can you believe this? How easily people fall for his lies coming from a man that only cares about himself and not his citizens. We are dealing with a president that doesn't want to even speak or act professionally. We literally saw him swinging a sword around cutting a cake. That's the world that we are living in right now. This feels like some kind of a skit from a television series or a parody. And about the inauguration, by the way, how unprofessional was it for him to embarrass both President Biden and VP Harris when they were sitting right behind him? The things he said and the way he said it in his speech was shocking, truly shocking, and it just mind boggles me that we have Americans that love this man. So guys, before I move on about Sunny Hostin spewing all this nonsense again, I still am very much wondering why she's still hired over at ABC/Disney. The simple explanation is this. It's a typical Disney action. She is nothing more than a talking head to really throw out the Disney agenda, their overall ideology out there when it comes to really just doubling down on politics, really shoehorning politics into the media, into entertainment. People are tired of it. They don't want to hear about this anymore. Look, this is a show called The View. Nobody cares about this program anymore. Anybody who watches this program is either, really not fully in tune with reality, or really is falling for the lies coming from Sunny, Joy, and Whoopi. Now, we already know that they lost fans. We talked about this weeks ago, that they lost millions of regular fans, Sunny Hostin in particular, and that really kind of struck a nerve for her. That's why I think that she's very bitter lately, even worse than she ever was, and it just goes to show you that you can only lie so much before these programs really catch a lot of heat. And believe me, The View and their overall situation with the ratings disasters within the media, it's only getting worse. Now, she continues to double down on everything here. They actually believe he is going to follow up with his promises. I have warned you all, most of his promises will not be kept. Already he promised to do certain things on day 1 that he never even delivered on already, and it's day 2. So that right there proves my point that we are dealing with a compulsive liar as our president. This is frightening. I think that we should all be frightened. Now guys, again, this is the same program that supports Jimmy Kimmel crying live on television, which I think was a fake cry at this point. I think that was very much kind of orchestrated to be very over-dramatic when he cried after the 2024 election loss for them. That was a very big deal. But one thing about all of this is that we know that Sunny Hostin is going to say whatever she has to say to desperately change the minds of other people, politically speaking. And look, this is exactly why people are tired of this. They don't want this on their television screens. They don't want this in movies. They don't want this in books or video games. They don't want all of these political opinions shoehorned into all forms of media, into all forms of entertainment. She continues. His whole group seems to be obsessed with DEI and focusing on merit instead. That's not how it should work, and I agree with Julia Roberts that DEI is the core of entertainment because you have that ability to be relatable to all different backgrounds of people, those that hold different ethnicities, having the opportunity to star in films and television shows, or getting those careers in various agencies within the government. That is now beginning to all end, starting with agencies, and it's disgusting how celebrated this really is, that it's all going away. His inauguration gets an F for me if I were a teacher. So, alright, there you go again. I mean, this is Sunny Hostin really making no sense at all. So, look, we know at the same exact time, Sunny Hostin got in a lot of trouble for, really doubling down on a lot of these excessive lies that she keeps on spreading. We also know at the same exact time, her husband and the fraudulent things going on with him are not helping her case at all. We have a lot more things to talk about him in the coming days. But look, we know that Sunny Hostin got caught up in a lot of trouble also with Disney/ABC after she is the major contributor to the ratings actually going through a plunge for The View via ABC. That's exactly why people are just fed up. Can you believe that even someone like Sunny Hostin is outperforming Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar as contributors to a ratings disaster for The View? It's very erratic, right, when it comes to the metrics there and everything else happening. And this is all just typical behavior coming from the hosts of The View, those coming from ABC/Disney. We could all expect this to continue on and to only worsen throughout the month of January and throughout the month of February. I don't think that they're really going to get used to this at all for, of course, the remaining years of Trump's presidency. But overall, I would like to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.